Hello and welcome to Adding Integers. Regular students, you can use your book pages 203 to 206, or you can use Mrs. Kessler's copies, and there are extras on Google Classrooms. Take a look at what you need. So on page 203. Okay, opposites. Opposites have the same absolute value. It means that they are the same distance from zero, but they're on opposite sides of zero on the number line. Opposites are also additive inverses because their sum is zero. So let's go ahead and fill in this vocabulary activity here. So integers like 2 and -2 are called opposites because they're the same distance from zero, but on opposite sides. Complete the graphic organizer about opposites. So they made us this lovely picture here, and we should probably graph the opposite of 3. So that's going to be here at -3. I'm trying to use a stylus, and I'm not sure I like it. Okay, so you can see they're the same distance from zero, if you want to add that in. Real world example, you could say night and a day. Come up with a different one if you would like. Math example, well, they just used 3 and -3. They have 2 and -2. How about 5 and -5? All right, use whatever numbers you want. Next slide. All right. Two integers that are opposites are also called additive inverses. The additive inverse property states that the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0, so that you can show 2 plus -2 in a number line. They are the same distance from 0. 2 plus -2 is 0. All right, so they had you start at 0, move 2 units to the right, and then you're going to move 2 units to the left. Okay, so real world link, the temperature outside is -5. Name the temperature that would make the sum of the two temperatures 0. So 5, right? That's the opposite. That is the additive inverse. Okay. Add integers with the same sign on page 204. You add the two numbers, you keep the sign. So to add integers with the same sign, add their absolute values. The sum is positive if both integers are positive, negative if both integers are negative. So you can see 7 plus 4. We know that's 11. Since 7 and 4 are both positive, 11 is positive. If we have -7 and -4, together they make 11, but it's -11 right there because both numbers were negative. Okay? Hopefully that is pretty straightforward. So you can see here with this example that we are doing -3 plus -2. We're starting at -3, and we're going to go further negative to -2. So let's say that your dog bites you, that puts you at a -3, and then you get grounded, that puts you at a -2 more. So now your happiness is at a -5. Okay? Maybe being grounded and your dog biting you would be more drastic. So -26 plus -17, that's how they end up at a -43. Okay? Or how about at night, the temperature was -26, and then a storm blew in and it dropped even more. It dropped another 17 degrees, landing us at -43 degrees. So that's how that works. If we look down here at the bottom, we have some examples. So if you want to go ahead and pause me, and then you can check your work after you try these problems. Okay, I'm going to give you the answers now. -5 plus -7 is -12. -10 plus -4 is -14. -14 plus -16 is -30. So each one of those is going more negative, further down the number line. Okay. Adding integers with different signs. This is where things get a little bit tricky. You need to find the difference of their absolute values and keep the sign with the greater absolute value. So to add integers with different signs, subtract their absolute values. The sum is positive if the positive integer's absolute value is greater, negative if the negative integer's absolute value is greater. So in these two examples below, 9 has a greater absolute value than -4, right? So we subtract the two numbers. 9 minus 4 is 5, and we're going to use a positive 5 because 9 has the greater absolute value. -9 plus positive 4, so 9 minus 4 is 5. Our answer is -5 because -9 has the greater absolute value. Okay? All right. So my next example has to do with the Trojans versus the Spartans, positive versus negative. The Trojans in this example will be the good guys, the Spartans will be the bad guys, even though that's not really, necessarily historically significant there. But it's just for thinking about positive numbers and negative numbers. So I'm going to end this video, and then I will be able to hopefully insert the rest of the video. So, coming up soon in a history class near you, you will be studying the Greeks. There will be the Trojans, there will be the Spartans. And how will this work out? We have the Trojans as the good guys. They bring in 5. Okay, maybe they weren't the good guys because they were kind of the aggressor in this war, but it's T and it's a plus sign, so okay, they're falling over. All right, so we have 5 pluses. We have 2 Spartans come up to battle. All right. Oh, you can't see them. Thank you. Okay, so my 2 Spartans and my 2 Trojans. A Spartan takes out a Trojan. A Spartan takes out a Trojan. Who is left? 3 Trojans. 5 plus -2 is positive 3. All right, new example. 3 Trojans. It's like I planned that or something. 6 Spartans. Uh-oh, I'm short of Spartan. Help me here. Never mind, I got it. All right, here are my Spartans. 6? Maybe. All right, so if I match up my Spartans and my Trojans, those are a 0 pair. Those are a 0 pair. Those are a 0 pair. Who's left in my battle? 6 Spartans that are laying down on the job. Okay, this really was better in theory. 3 Trojans plus -6 is -3. The Spartans win this battle. All right, 2 more battles in our Trojan War. We've got 3 Trojans out there with 4 Spartans, so -4. These 2 match up. These 2 match up. These 2 match up. Spartan's down, but he is left behind. -1 is our result. So 3 plus -4 is -1. Our 0 pairs got eliminated. My last example. So here's the big battle between Hector and Achilles. We have 1 Trojan, Prince Hector. 1 Spartan, Achilles. They match up. All right, now in the real battle, Achilles wins. Not to ruin it for you, but it makes 0. So 1 plus -1 is 0. Now in the real war, the horse goes in and the Spartans really just destroy the Trojans, but hey, it works for positives and negatives. All right, so here, let's put this to work. When you add integers with different signs, start at 0. Move right for positive integers. Move left for negative integers. So the sum of P plus Q is located at the distance, the absolute value of Q from P. Okay, if that just got confusing, don't worry about it. Take a look at this graphic here. So we start at 0, we're moving all the way up to 5, and now I'm moving my whole graphic. Oh dear, don't do that, don't, okay. So we're going all the way to 5, and then we're gonna go back -3, so that's how our answer lands at 2. So if you find the difference, 5 minus 3 is 2, 5 is positive, so 2 is going to be positive. Here we're doing -3 plus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Our answer is going to be negative because 3 has the greater absolute value, -3. Okay, so you find the difference and use the sign of the number with the greater absolute value. All right, so take a look at these the got it questions down here. Go ahead and try those and I will give the answers. So if you want to pause. All right, so 7 minus 6 is 1. -7 has the greater absolute value, so our result should be -1. 19 minus 15 is 14. Our answer is going to be, no, it's not. Oh, geez. 4. 19 minus 15 is 4. Our answer is going to be positive because 19 has the greater absolute value. Okay. The next slide. Some more examples. 7 and -7. We can subtract them. 7 minus 7, that's 0. We can also look at those and say, oh, look, they're opposites. So we already know that, and it's going to be 0. Okay. For -8 plus 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. The answer is negative because -8. Uh-oh, now we have 3 numbers in a row. 15 minus 12 is 13. Oh, well, aren't they just peachy here? Never mind. So we could go through there. All right, so let's try this again. I recorded and it was on mute. No. All right. A roller coaster starts at point A. It goes up 20 feet, so positive 20. Goes down 32 feet, so negative 32. And then goes up 16 feet. Whoops, 16. Write an addition sentence to help to find the height at point B in relation to point A. Then find the sum and explain its meaning. So they had already written this out for us, but this is where I got the numbers. So when it went down 32, we had to use a negative. It was going up 16, and it was already 20 feet up in the air. So they rearrange these with the commutative properties so that you can have your positive numbers together. 20 plus 16 is 36. 36 plus -32, our result would be positive 4. Point B is 4 feet higher than point A. All right, the temperature, I'm sorry. So we're going to try the next word problem. If you'd like to try it on your own, go for it. And so pause me and we'll come back and check it together. All right, the temperature is -3. An hour later, it drops 6 degrees. So plus -6. 2 hours later, it rises 4, so a positive 4. Write an addition expression to describe this situation. Then find the sum and explain its meaning. So we can add together -3 plus -6. That's going to give us -9 plus 4. -9 plus 4 is going to give us -5. So our answer is -5 degrees 2 hours later. Alrighty. So make sure you fill out that video reflection so we know what you understand and what you don't.